What was it today?
All right. 6 o'clock, call board meeting to order. Please rise to the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
Bonnie Holstein.
Present.
Chris Radish.
Here.
Leo Rulo.
Here.
Paul Gorczyk is here. Gary Yarnes is excused. Katie Gorczyk is excused. And Brad Duke.
Present. All right. Is there any additions that we can change the agenda? Motion?
I move to accept the agenda as written.
Motion. Support. And a motion support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any community comments on the agenda? Part spotlight.
She's not a fan of this. I have, excuse me, I have the pleasure tonight of recognizing Christy Moran, who's one of our middle school, high school counselors. Christy started teaching high school social studies back in 2000. This is like 21 year, 2000. When did you actually start?
97.
Okay. Where did you start?
I did student teaching here, and then I was up in Mayo before I came back.
Majority of her career she taught 10th through 12th grade for the following subjects: U.S. History, AP U.S. History, AP Government, Print Issues, and Senior Project. She was the Students in Action for Education Advisor from 2000 to 2006 and took students on trips to Chicago, New York, and some other locations. She coached 2 varsity sports, cross country and track and field, from 2006 to 2024. And she is proud to say she has taken many trips to state meet for both sports and with former athletes. While head coach of cross country, she and her team helped to create a cross country trail out at Mount Forest School property that now, under the direction of Jason Pemberton, has been expanded upon. She has also helped to coach middle school cross country and track students, as well as organize and implement elementary running club programs for both cross country and track and field. In 2017, she completed her master's degree in counseling from CMU and started working a couple hours a day in the school counseling office. She started off with first hour in 2016-17 in the counseling office, and then she would still teach full-time 3 preps in high school. In 2018, she went 2 hours in the morning, but still continued to teach for 3 preps. She was also the social studies department head from 2022 to 2024. The 2024-25 school year, she gave up her beloved subjects, cleaned out her classroom, and became a full-time counselor, which is still her current role. She is learning how to adjust to this new role that has challenged her in new ways, something she didn't know could happen at this stage of her career. Her and her husband have raised their children here in Pinconning, and all 3 of her kids graduated from Pinconning High School. While they came through, she was not only a staff member, involved in a lot of things, she was also a very involved parent, volunteering whenever needed for band events, theater events, student council responsibilities such as homecoming, class floats that were built at our house a total of 8 times. She has had a wonderful journey, and not only does she feel blessed to be a Pinconning Spartan, but we are beyond lucky to have her as a proud Spartan and to call her our own.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a real honor, and actually usually my husband's working. He just by chance had tonight off, so I'm last minute said, hey, guess I totally sprung it on, so I'm glad you can be here. So thank you very much. This is really nice.
Thank you.
Okay, on communication and politics.
Yeah, first, the Michigan sex ed and health standards are being debated right now. They haven't been updated since 2007, and a lot of the debate revolves around some hot topics like what's required in schools, what's appropriate for children, who has the right to decide, and how Michigan defines inclusion in with respect to these educational topics. As I was researching this and reading about it, State Board of Education President Pamela Pugh said that politicians, media, and advocacy groups have spread falsehoods to scare parents into thinking that schools would teach sex education to their children without giving parents a chance to opt out from that instruction. Nothing could be further from the truth. So I wanted to at least get that out there in case parents were seeing and reading some of the things like I am, that is, it's always been the possibility to opt your son or daughter out, and I don't see that changing. But it's still good. There's a lot of things that have happened since 2007 that are not in the curriculum currently, like vaping, and that whole health ed curriculum. It's a lot about smoking, and we don't see many kids smoking now. We see them vaping. So there's a lot that needs to be changed, but there are some hot topics, and it'll be interesting to keep an eye on it.
It's funny, at the delegate assembly, and Paul had got to sit in the back, and there was districts that wanted all this stuff removed
Yeah.
from the state guidelines, and well, it got shot down and everything. Everything stayed as it was, but yeah, they were arguing for an hour.
It was an hour, and
Oh my gosh.
it wasn't fun. And it was funny. The funny part was it's state guidelines. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it at your district. And
Local control,
yeah, they
Right.
couldn't quite grasp that. So
Yeah, it's
there
local
was a few
control
that didn't grasp
currently, and-
that idea.
and people are worried that the local control will be taken away.
Nope.
And they're saying, no, we just want to update things and make it better for our students. It is National Principals Month, and I had some information that I wanted to share as we thank our amazing principals for the great job that they do with our students and staff every day. I asked our principals something interesting that maybe we wouldn't know about them, and what's their favorite part of the day. So Miss Guizdala from Linwood said she grew up playing soccer and basketball, and she played both sports in college, and for 1 year played both at the same time. She also loves offering fist bumps and high fives to the students throughout the day. John Sanford spends time refurbishing old farm implements to display in his front yard. Favorite time of the day is greeting the students in the morning. Allison Van Driesch spent a few years beekeeping with students in her middle school science club and worked for Michigan State University as a beekeeper for 2 summers. And favorite part of the day, greeting students at the main doors each morning. Dr. Sarah Braun, she enjoys spending time with family, being out in nature, doing house projects, and playing her trombone in various musical groups. And her favorite thing each week is greeting the students every morning, interacting with them at school events, and welcoming them over the morning announcements with cell phone reminders and the daily bad joke. Yep, that's correct. And Miss Heine spends free time with her kids' activities. Eli, a bass fisherman in college. Luke, Space Force, ROTC. Maya was the Bay City Western Homecoming Queen recently. Sophia, Bay City Western Middle School competitive dancer. Mateo, Auburn Elementary Saginaw Spirit Junior Hockey. So very busy mom, as well as our amazing principal. Favorite time of the day? Well, sitting in classrooms and observing the magic that goes on between our teachers and students. So I just wanted everyone to know a little bit about our principals more than just what's here in the buildings. And we appreciate everything that they do. And finally, at our administrative meeting last week, we had Kim Deering from the ISD present to the group on the diverse learning supports. We're always looking for ways that our ISD supports us and helps us. And this is exactly what that is. This group can support our students with IEPs and the staff that support those students. Experts can work with the IEP team to help students be successful and to stay in class. A few stipulations come along with that, and one of them is that our IEP team must meet first to try to resolve any problem, and then if it isn't fixed, the problem's not fixed, then we can call in this team, and they have many different experts for different unique problems, and they come in and work with us and help make a plan to make it better. So I'm pretty interested in this. It's brand new, it just started, so we'll see how it can help our students. That's it.
Student rep.
For those of you that don't remember me from the last meeting, I'm Abigail Whiting. I'm your student rep for tonight. The first item on my report comes down to these pictures, so I'll pass them down for you to look at. Biology students were tested with becoming experts on one organ in the human body. They were required to research their assigned organ, determining how the structure determines its function and how it works to keep the body alive. They were required to build a 3D model of their organ. The AP Biology and Chemistry students will be visiting a pumpkin farm on Wednesday, October 29th to witness the science behind the farm. This is an amazing opportunity to view real-world examples of how the science they've been studying this semester presents itself in the real world. High School Student Council. The Fall Blood Drive sponsored by Student Council will take place tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. in the all-purpose room. Student Council hopes to collect 20 life-saving pints of blood at the drive. Halloween in the hallways will take place on Friday, October 31st from 6 to 7 p.m. This free event is open to the public. The MSU U of M Challenge took place last week. Supporters of the University of Michigan raised $85, state fans raised $108. Altogether, $200 will be donated to a local charity. Esports. Mario Kart is currently ranked 15th in the state with a 3-2 record. The JV Smash Brothers team is currently ranked 42nd with a 2-3 record. Band. Jazz Band has started back up again for the 2025-26 school year. Enrollment has opened up to 8th grade students in the band program to ensure we have a fully staffed ensemble, which will allow us to participate in jazz band festivals and contests in future years. Preparations for solo ensemble have begun for students in 7th grade through 12th grade. The festival will take place on Saturday, February 7th, 2026 at Oklahoma Heights High School. Shut Band will be beginning this week, with our first rehearsal taking place on Thursday, October 30th, so that we will be ready for basketball season. Peer Mentors. The Peer Mentors are hosting Red Ribbon Week this week, October 27th through October 31st. Red Ribbon is part of our prevention program to educate and raise awareness about anti-bullying and anti-drugs. This year, to encourage greater student and staff participation in the celebrations, the Peer Mentors have organized dress-up day themes. Monday is put a cap on drugs or wear a hat. Tuesday is it's super to be drug-free, so wear a superhero outfit. Wednesday is wear red, so students who wear red will be included in a group picture and earn a ticket to be entered into a drawing that takes place on Friday. There will be 3 winners, 2 high school and 1 middle school. Each will receive a $25 Amazon gift card. Thursday is drugs are wacky, so dress wacky. And then Friday's theme is drugs are scary. Students and staff are encouraged to wear a school-appropriate Halloween costume. That's it.
Thank you.
Administrators. Yeah, anything?
Yep. At Central Elementary, we had members of the Rotary Club stop by last week. They presented our 3rd graders with dictionaries and our 4th graders with thesauruses. And on Monday, November 3rd, we will be having 1st and 2nd grade parent-teacher conferences in the evening. And Thursday, November 6th, excuse me, our 4th graders are going to go visit their careers.
So with it being almost the end of October now, a lot of people have had the time to go through the state budget. There's one piece of funding that has been a hot topic in school finances lately, and that is 31AA mental health grants. Last year we received about $120,000 and used about $50,000 for our SRO and our 31M counselor. We'll have about $70,000 of carryover going into this year, but the big piece of concern for a lot of districts is there's a new clause in the law this year for if you accept 25, 26 funding, you essentially as a district waive your attorney-client privileges in an event of a mass casualty event. So pretty much if something happens, people can come in and just look at through all your information. A lot of districts are waiting their funding right now. They're actually going to opt in by November 15th is the due date to opt in to receive this funding. The conversation from a lot of districts is they're not opting in until this clause is over. So I just kind of want to let you be aware of that. And so, yeah, November 15th is the day that we have our opt-in route. At the end of the day, it's the board's decision.
Right.
I think this year we're allocated an additional $40,000 from what we had last year, so it'll be about 160 this year. Just 120 last year.
It's a very hot topic around the state with superintendents are saying there is no way they would lose their attorney-client privileges in governmental immunity. They said it would just destroy your school if something did happen. So people are still looking into it. There's still a lot going on in these next couple weeks, but it's big.
There's also there's a gray area, so it happens, how far back can you go? There's no real restriction in the wording of the law.
Yeah, it's just messy.
Yeah.
The report from the board committee. Chris?
Personnel met this afternoon and we discussed the GSRP teachers that really don't have set salary or anything that they can look to for the next few years. And so we're gonna be checking in to see what we can do to kind of come up with something that can possibly meet their needs of knowing what they'll be making in the next year or two or three down the road. They've been kind of one of these groups that whenever the feeling arises, we kind of give them whatever the rest of the teachers have received. They're not part of the union. They'd like something in writing that, so they can kind of budget and know what's going on in the future. We also talked about the 21F. That's where the students take courses online and not with the teacher. There's just, the numbers are going through the roof and we're trying to figure out why. We're gonna do some checking into why our numbers and everybody's numbers are going just through the roof. And we'd like to have these kids in a classroom with teachers versus taking it online. So Andy and others are gonna do some checking to see if we can do something to combat that.
Consent agenda.
You make the motion to approve the consent agenda in the amount of $715,884.18.
Support.
Motion support, any discussion? Roll call.
Paul Georgich is a yes. Bonnie Holstein?
Yes.
Chris Resch?
Yes.
Leo Rudo?
Yes.
Mr. Duke?
Yes. Okay, call the comments. Okay, seeing none, the board member, any discussion? Okay, I know we, a bunch of us went to the conference, the board conference. Great information, you get to see all the other districts, what they're doing, and sometimes you get to listen to legal tell them that what they're doing is incorrect, and there are a couple times that actually Paul and I were in the same one, and we were talking, they do, we look at them, we're like, okay, that's illegal. It's just bizarre at some of the districts, what they're meetings, what they're doing. And, yeah, there's several of them that just, flat out said they just have, they let any board members have full conversations with the people when they're talking. Yeah, it doesn't bode well.
There's quite a few things that we have been doing for many years as a district. And I don't mean just board-wise, I mean district-wise, that other schools haven't even heard of, or they're just getting into it and asking a lot of questions. And we've done them for years.
Yeah. Yep, and then, like I said, Paul got to sit at the back of the delegate assembly and experience that.
That was neat. There's, they have a whole board up front. They very much follow Robert's rules. And there's 500 voting delegates.
Wow.
And there's like 4 microphones. Right? So 500 people, 4 microphones. And they kind of go through the agenda just like this. And they're like, hey, we want to approve the consent agenda. And one person stands up and walks over and says, take this out, take that out. And it just starts, everybody just starts coming up and saying everything.
Yep.
And it ended up not going through it all. It was just, I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but it was very much like they wanted to hear themselves speak, but it wasn't going to go anywhere.
Right.
And the other thing for me is like Chris said, a lot of things that we do here, a lot of good things. We're very blessed that we don't have the issues that other people have. But at the same time, a lot of times policy and procedure is great, but it's not something I never want to hide behind. And so sometimes I feel like we're checking a box, whereas we need to be looking out for the best interests of the student. And so it's always like, well, yeah, that's covered in an email. Well, yeah, but could we have gone a little bit farther, called that parent, called that student, done something more than just procedure-wise? So that was my takeaway.
The one that I had going to the general course on Saturday, the legislation right now, I advise people to kind of go through some of that, how it's impacting the schools, because they have a lot of little bits that maybe aren't always brought forward, and even regards to funding for food stamps. It also includes like the WIC programs and also the Head Start programs. That's all incorporated with that. And so a lot of legislation stuff for me to sit and listen to is a lot easier to have somebody explain what every single bill and law is instead of trying to read through it, because it doesn't make a lot of sense just to read it, but there's a lot involved.
That's it. Then I need one more motion.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Yeah, motion support, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Back. I don't need it. Whoever wants to keep it like
You know, that's why they have those conferences.
Who's
Right.